Make it make sense. We're live. How many times have you thought to yourself, make it make sense? Someone asks you a question. You know, kids think we know everything. They always ask us these complex questions, but that happens in your job too, doesn't it? If you're a leader, you always get asked all these things on the fly. Sometimes you just think to yourself, make it make sense. Well, today we're going to show you how to make it make sense, how to explain anything and make it make sense. As a leader, that's a power. That's someone who's a great leader, explains the vision, people understand it, people come together, and they win. We got a band. It's playing right here. We got a band. Just hang on. I got this. Okay. And you can go wait while I finish this show. Then you can come back later. All right. So how to explain a complex topic? Well, I call it the tiptoe method. And using Notebook LM, you can tiptoe people into a complex topic, and it makes sense. All right. So here's how you do it. So tiptoe framework. You know, back in the day on the caves, people would draw these images, and it shows them hunting, shows a cow, shows a spear. Why is that? Pictograms are the first impactful form of communication. We've all heard an image communicates 1,000 words. Why is that? It's because it follows the rules of story. So when you're introducing people to a complex topic, use visual storytelling power to nail it. It's a leadership hack. Cavemen have been doing it forever. So when you take an infographic, you can throw it up and you can make a complex topic simple. And so that's what we're doing today. It's called the tiptoe framework. Step one is the infographic. It's on the beach. We're going to tiptoe into the deep waters of that complex topic. You got to start on the beach and start tiptoeing in. That's what an infographic does. So what's the next step? Well, it's a slide deck. What's a slide deck? It's just a bunch of steps of infographics, pictograms, images that connect the dots, top level concepts, builds a chain so you can walk people down to the campfire. This is where we're going. Everybody around the campfire. It's clear. So a single picture that tells a comprehensive story at a glance. A sequence of simple visuals is a slide deck. And guess what Notebook LM is awesome at doing? Creating infographics and creating slide decks. And then for those who are willing, interested, and want more, then you can generate a text explainer, the leave behind, the download, the PDF, the handout. Don't start the meeting with the handout. No one's going to listen. Start with the picture book, right? We grew up as kids with picture grip. You know, what's Dick and Jane or whatever it is nowadays. There's a picture, shows a story. That's what our brains crave. You can do that with Notebook LM. Make the pictures, draw the connections, and then use it to generate your punchy text to summarize your details. And where do we get the whole picture? So this is what I'm going to show you how to explain a complex topic today using the tiptoe framework. All right, so here I'm going to share my screen. We'll go into Notebook LM and let's just do this. All right, so today, I got asked the other day, what's stable coins? What's going on with stable coins? Why do we need to Why is it in the news? All right. Well, there's a lot of backstory. This is complex. It's a complex system that digital payments. So how does it work? What's the difference in a credit card? What's I don't understand. That's what I hear when and that's what I thought when I first heard that topic. And then I had to explain it. So here's what you do. You're going to go into Notebook LM. You're going to spin up a new notebook. And as we've reviewed many times on this, over here is on the left. That's where we're going to bring in information into our knowledge base. And so maybe we're going to, for example, I went to Grok and I said, hey, just tell me go out and get a little information. Give me the basics on stablecoin. So it did. And so look at this. This is a very, it's comprehensive, it's short, it's pithy, but if I was to hand someone this information right there, the brain would shut down. Your brain is offended by this. Don't lead with this, but bring it into Notebook LM and build out your information. So, for example, I brought in the tiptoe framework. All right. And so I brought it in, I put it in here, and here's the tiptoe framework. So the images that I showed you a while ago were generated from this. So here we are. We have our stable coins information. It goes through, and in the chat section here is where we can get distilled specifics. So we have a comprehensive long document here. Not in this example, but imagine having some. Then this distills it. We can get specifics or dial into just a zoomed in aspect of that complicated subject. And we even use those for assets or resources that we're going to expect our marketing team over here to generate the outputs. All right, so we have stable coins, the reliable bridge to digital finance. Here's the thing about Notebook LM. It's natively powerful with storytelling. It honors the rules of story. Why is that important? Our brains crave, desire, and focus on information that's formatted and honors the rules of story. You've heard that explanation that what's the difference between noise and music? Well, music is noise that follows rules. Therefore, it turns into music. Same with this. You're putting in noise over here, just a bunch of messy conversations, interviews, documents, PDFs, whatever it may be, notes. You put in that messy noise over here. Notebook LM turns it into music. It takes that information and changes it around and puts it in a form that makes sense to the brain immediately. And more importantly, in a visual storytelling image. So here's the essence of what stable coins are. They're the steady side of digital money. So what makes them stable? Hence the name stable coins. Well, it's a digital dollar. One stable coin is built to always equal roughly $1. And unlike crypto, stablecoin gets bunched in with the topic or the umbrella term of crypto, but cryptos has a negative connotation of a roller coaster of price spikes, of prices going up and prices going down. And so unlike Bitcoin or crypto, the price stays flat. So you can actually buy groceries. That's one of the questions the folks that I explain Bitcoin to. Well, what happens when you go in and you don't have enough Bitcoin to pay for your groceries? Why would I use it as a payment system? That's a great point. So stablecoin is the answer for that. Okay, and so why is that? Well, it's backed by real cash. So one stable coin is going to equal $1. And any entity that provides stable coins, such as the US or Amazon or Walmart or any company that tether. You've heard of different stable coins. The difference is for every stable coin that they give you, they have $1 in reserve to back that up. So if you were to come and turn your stable coin in, you would have $1. You wouldn't get stuck holding the bag. That's why you can use it to shop, because $1 is always worth $1 in stable coin. Well, why would people use them instead of just $1? Well, you can send money anywhere instantly without the value changing before it arrives. So if I was to send $1 from here to the Philippines via stablecoin, it wouldn't even need to go through a bank. It would go from me to the person I was sending it to in a split second, and it would end up being worth $1 when it got there. It wouldn't change. It'd always be the same value. So many people in different countries whose currency goes up and down would prefer a payment to come to them in a US dollar. And so many people in other countries want their money in US dollars because their perception is that it's stable, that it's a safe haven, and many people do that. And then the other advantage is you can earn interest on your stable coins. So instead of having your money in a bank makes it hard to send money. So if you were to go to your bank and say, "Hey, I want to send someone money in the Philippines," they would say, "Well, we're not a part of the SWIFT network. We can't do that." Okay. And they're only going to pay you 1%. So the advantage of owning stable coins would be that these companies that provide these stable coins, they'll also give you interest on those. So you can earn more interest as well. So that's the essence of stable coins. So we just tipped our toe into the water of stable coins. All right. But what makes stable coins? Let's go and look. What's the next step? We're going to tiptoe. We're going to step on the steps by step. Here we go. So, and by the way, in Notebook LM, here's the prompt that I used to generate this. Explain this to me like I'm an 8th grader in 7 steps in the style of a graphic novel. All right. So here we go. Stable coins to me, the 8th grader. The Crypto Chronicles, The Secret of the Stablecoin, an 8th grader's guide in 7 action-packed steps. So we're going from this tension to this stability. You see the art of the storytelling engine that Notebook LM is. I didn't tell it to arrange it. So immediately, this is a comic book style. Comic books are, if you want to take an image and get it to have an impact, comic books, study those. Comic books are the visual image of how to tell a story. So here's our hero in the middle, or our topic. We're moving from tension to stability, the secret, the title, authority, and then a little subtitle. Isn't that cool? Step 1, the monster of volatility. So it shows someone shopping and he's asking, how much does the milk cost? And she's communicating just 1 coin. He's going, all right, just 1 coin for the milk. So regular cryptocurrencies are like digital gold. Cool, but the prices swing wildly up and down. Wait, so they go to check out and wait, now it costs 50 coins? Whoa, that's not good. So never mind, now it's down to this. So confusion all around because of the volatility that's associated with crypto. So here's our hero. Our hero shows up to solve that tension that we just experienced. It's a type of digital money that lives on the blockchain, but is designed to stay completely steady. You see how these infographics, these step-by-step infographics can tell more detail, but again, it's following the rules of story. So many things are being communicated here. So we got this protective bubble that's breaking out the tension and the volatility. So the vault backing. Here's illustrating that for every stable coin, there's a dollar associated with it that's locked up and ready to go. And it creates the stability and that shows the technical uh, simplicity, how easy it is to send crypto, or in this case, stablecoin from one person to another. The one to one exchange, a dollar out, dollar in. Here we go. You see how that works? Zap. Give the coin back, you get your real dollar back. These are several of the leaders. USDT, that's Tether. USDC, that's a USD coin. DAI, I've never heard of DAI, or maybe I have, but I wouldn't have ever said, oh, that's a stable coin. Together, these champions have grown to respect hundreds of billions of dollars in daily use across the globe. So we're illustrating this is already in process. Stable coins are active, billions of dollars are transacted daily. Did you know that? Daily, every day. All right. So what can it do? You can send money instantly. It's digital cash. It earns interest and it's a safe haven. And so we're crossing the stable bridge, the reliable bridge. We get to skip the volatility of the crypto sea. And so, and here's the wrap up. Steady value, one digital coin equals one US dollar. The vault system backed securely by real money, no crazy roller coaster, used by billions. So there you go. That's a slide deck as we've tiptoed into a little deeper waters of more complexity. And then here's the leave behind. Notebook LM can create a beautiful leave behind that gives detail for someone that's interested and wants to dig in and learn more. Here you go. Primary characteristic, digital dollar, the mechanics, how it works, the major players, practical utility. Some more details. You see how we wandered into the deep end. We can do it even more deeper. We can really go to the Mariana Trench or whatever that trench is called. That's how you can use this marketing team to help you quickly get tiptoe people in to a complex topic by using Notebook LM. All right, so people ask me, Steve, what is it you do? I'm glad you asked. Here's an infographic. Right, I think that person that's busy move people from the busy bottleneck to genius broadcaster, executive content engine, transforming overwhelmed leaders into effortless thought authorities to automated content. The hero struggle, it's a wall of noise. Did you know you have to make 35,000 decisions every day? That's drain. That's exhausting. And the brain's bodyguards, it's like, yeah, we don't have time to make this content. We have fear of failure. We got the blank page syndrome. And then great ideas. We got all these ideas, but they usually go somewhere to die because we don't capture them. We go push them out into the world. And so, guess what? The solution is simple no prep. It's called the Genius Capture Engine. I just interview my leaders. We record the natural conversations. Then we take it and put it into an engine. It's called the Golden Nugget Engine. We're going to harvest those golden nuggets that just flow when you're in your moment. You can talk about your topic forever. You get pulled into high stakes. You're the closer. You get pulled in. Why? Because you know it. You can flow. You don't have to prep. You're the best at it. So let's record all that, put it into the engine, and guess what it does? It produces these golden nuggets that get published into all the various assets, and it creates clarity, connection, and confidence. And here you are. You went from here to here to who? To tell your audience. Isn't that a beautiful infographic, pictogram, cave drawing? You would expect this on a cave drawing if I lived in that cave, wouldn't you? What do you do, Steve? This is it. There's my cave drawing. Notebook LM can tee you up, help you communicate clearly, creatively. It pulls people into the story. So come on, sign up for Notebook LM. It's easy. Use the tiptoe framework. Notebook LM is your buddy. Notebook LM is free. Sign up. Hey, if you need some help, guess what? Time for the music. Music on. Yes. There we go. Coming in. Got a question. Sean's asking, is there a way to make folders in Notebook LM to keep items you add organized? Absolutely. It's a new feature, actually. You update it, it organizes it for you. You can connect it with Google Gemini as well and Google Gems. Yeah, sign up. You got it. Just a new feature, Sean, that they just released recently. Great question. But I'm telling you, start there. Upload all your messy stuff. It'll help you get organized. Then you can chat with it, interrogate your sources, move it over, assign it to your Notebook LM marketing team to produce the tools that are going to give you leverage to be the leader you are. Hey, if you want to work with me, you got this fancy, the sexy QR code over here. Scan it, connect, reply, like, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors. And next week, we'll learn how to explain something else with Notebook LM. All right, that's a wrap.